Hey, it's Kinsey Ray. I specialize in coaching people on how to build businesses online and help growth-minded people unlock the next best version of themselves. And today I want to give you some tips on helping you create new neural pathways in your brain to create real change in your life. This was one of my biggest and favorite takeaways from my mastermind in Cabo the last 2 days. I just got back from Cabo a couple days ago from this insane mastermind, and I already can feel the shifts changing. I already can feel my mind working differently, the way I'm showing up being different, and I want you guys to have massive change in your life and massive change in your businesses in 2023. And I know this is really going to help you. So definitely share this with your teams, share this with a friend, share this with your spouse, so you guys can work on it together and create big changes. So something really interesting that I learned about the neural pathways in your brain is once you've been in business for a while, or once you've been working on a goal for a while, your brain creates these neural pathways of processes and utilizes your current habits and the things that you do, right? If you have your routine. I wake up, I do this, I show up to my business and do this, I have my structure, I have my processes, ding, 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 right? We all have our flows and our habits that we get into, and it creates these neural pathways in your brain that just goes, this is what I do, 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 this is what I do. And it starts to go on autopilot. It starts to just become a part of you. And your brain actually stops looking for new solutions. It stops looking for new ideas and new resources and new ways of doing things, because we've just created these neural pathway highways, and we kind of stop looking for new ideas. I want you to think about when you first started your business, or when you first started a workout regimen, or whatever it is. You were so creative, you had so many ideas, you were problem solving, you're like, well, maybe we could do it this way, maybe we could do it that way, let me think about, this strategy and this marketing idea, and you're just getting creative, you're going a million different directions trying to figure out how to make this thing work. You drop a 1 below if you relate to this. I know that was me when I started my business. It's like, what can we do? How can we launch this? Who can we talk to? What are all the different creative marketing strategies and ideas that I can do? And then once I found my flow, I created that neural pathway. I'm like, all right, we're just going to do this. 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 And I stopped looking for new ideas. Your brain does this to protect your energy and to conserve your energy. I learned this in The Power of Habit. It's a phenomenal book. And I want you guys to drop a 3 in the chat if you've ever done this. You start driving to work. You're just driving, and then you get to work, and you don't remember driving there. You're like, did I abide by all the laws? Did I run a red light? Did I speed? Did I cut somebody off? How did I not get in an accident on my way to work if I literally do not remember driving there? You're just total autopilot. Anybody ever done this? I know I have, and I'm like, how did I not just die on the road if I completely blanked out on the road and do not remember driving? That's terrifying. It freaks me out when this happens to me. But your brain does this to conserve energy. We are creatures of habit. We operate on habits. We live and die on our habits. And so once you form a habit, good or bad, once you form a habit, once you form a process, once you form a way of doing something, you always drive the same route to work. I go for a walk in my neighborhood, and I always go the same direction around the loop. We create these habits that our brain picks up on the pattern, and it will store it in your subconscious and create this autopilot mode that you just do it automatically. You do these habits without even thinking about it to conserve energy. Your brain only has so much energy, and so this is it's a kind of a protection mechanism, if you will, to help conserve energy in your brain. And we just have these neural pathways that we're just running on autopilot. So this is the definition of doing the same thing, expecting to get different results, is the definition of insanity. Drop a 4 in the chat if you've ever experienced that before, or ever heard that saying before. I've heard it, but I never really understood it. Right? Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity if you're expecting to get different results. Doing the same thing is not going to get you different results. I was like, yeah, okay, obviously that makes sense. But half the time we don't even realize we're doing it. We don't even realize we're stuck on this one path with this one habit, with this one mindset, thinking that we're going to somehow magically get a different result. No, you're stuck. You have to create new neural pathways. You have to do something different to start getting new results. And it's hard to break those habits. So I want to give you guys a couple tips. So the best thing that you can do to create new neural pathways is to put yourself in new uncomfortable situations. Go to a networking event that freaks you out. Invest in a business coach that's outside of your comfort zone. Go join a mastermind to learn from new people. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations that shock you out of your day-to-day routine, that force you to think differently, that give you new ideas. You make new friends. Go meet some new friends. Go hang out with a different friend group. Get around new people. Shake up your day-to-day routine so you can create new neural pathways. Get around people who think bigger than you. Get around people who are smarter than you. Get around people who have better ideas than you. That is the best thing that you can do. Get around people that are smarter than you, wealthier than you, more accomplished than you. Feel so stupid. Feel so unaccomplished. Feel like you literally have no idea what you're doing sitting around them. You're like, what is going on? I did not even know this level of education existed. That was literally me at this mastermind this last 2 days. You guys, I lived this, okay? I lived this. I'm like, what? My mind was so expanded of how people levels and levels and levels above me do stuff. I'm like, what? That's an option? What? That's how people do things? What is going on? You get like the behind the scenes look, right? If you ever like see successful people on social media and you're like, I have no idea how they do what they do. And it just kind of becomes this, I don't know how they do what they do. I don't know how they operate. I have no idea how they got there. And it feels a little defeating. At least this is how it is for me, because I'm stuck in my one neural pathway. I'm like, this is how I do stuff. This is how I do stuff. This is how I do stuff. And I see people who have the life I want. I see people who have the success that I want. I see people who are doing what I want. And my brain goes, yeah, I have no idea how that's possible, especially how I'm currently operating right here on this one neural pathway, this one track, this habit system I've created for myself. This will never get me over here to this level of success that I want. And so like becomes this impossible thing almost. I don't want to say impossible, but my brain literally can't comprehend how they're doing it and how to get from where I am over here to this next level over here. And so by being uncomfortable, by disrupting my neural pathway, by getting in this room with people that are so successful, that are way further along than me, and getting the behind the scenes look, getting the coaching, asking the questions, hearing how they're really doing this, how they got from point A to point B to point C, and how they really run their lives and the habits and the processes and the systems and everything that they're actually doing, I created new neural pathways and I went, oh, that's how you do it? Oh, I get it. Like I literally could feel these new neural pathways being created the last couple of days and they are firing right now. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do something different. I'm going to have to change my habits. I'm going to have to change my routines. I'm going to have to change my confidence. I'm going to have to change my belief. I'm going to have to change how I operate on a day-to-day basis to get there. But my brain is finally seeing the new ideas. It's seeing the new ways of doing things. It's seeing the new possibilities because I was willing to get uncomfortable. That would have never happened had I stayed in my same friend group, had I stayed in the same mentor things that I was in, stayed in the same coaching programs that I was in. I had to get out and do something different. And now I have this whole new realm of possibilities. I'm like, oh my God, we could really take this thing to the next level. Like my belief is at a whole new level. My vision is at a whole new level. My way of operating is at a whole new level. I know it's only 2 days, but I literally feel like an entirely different person. It's crazy. And now I have to go and do the work. So that's my first tip. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Get around new people that have new ideas. You have to shake it up. You have to shake up your network. You have to shake up your friend group. You have to shake up your mentors. You have to shake up what you're doing and who you're listening to and the stuff that you're consuming to get new ideas, to get your brain firing again. The next thing I want you guys to do is actually take different action. And it can literally be something as simple as changing the route that you drive to work. I want you to pick one thing a day for the next week and do something different in your routine that you don't normally do. So you can take a different route to work. For me, I've intentionally done this. Taylor has told me this concept before, how powerful it is to do things a little bit differently. Brush your teeth with your left hand instead of your right hand. For me, I intentionally do this on my walks, that one day I'll walk around the loop going to the right, and one day I'll walk around the loop going to the left. And I just switch up the way that I do stuff, or I'll totally throw my brain off and I'll walk a completely different path. So trick your brain, it's not tricking your brain, but like do something different to get your brain, kind of shock the system, pattern interrupt. Hey, we're doing stuff different. So it starts looking for those different ideas. It starts looking for those different neural pathways, and new ideas will come to you. It's wild what happens when you start to do this. New ideas, new inspiration, new possibilities. And I believe when you combine these just two really simple things is you put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And that could even just be doing something hard. Maybe you go for a run and you don't normally run. Maybe you go lift weights and you don't normally lift weights. Maybe you go take a hot yoga class and that's wildly uncomfortable for you. Do these things that are new and uncomfortable and put you in different networks with different people, while changing just one thing a day for a week in your routine to pattern interrupt and shake up these habits and start getting new ideas, so you're not living that definition of insanity of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting to see different results. Because that is insanity. And that was the one huge thing that we left with from that mastermind is Jessie Lee really encouraged us, and she said, hey, when you go home, do something different. Take all of this information and do something different. Don't go home and go back into your same old pattern, same old habit, same old routine and expect to get different results. Go home and do something different. And that's what I did. Even I've been home a day and I'm already doing things differently. And I'm already feeling the shift. I'm already feeling the changes coming. And I haven't even seen like the actual compounded results from it, but I already just feel different. It feels good to shake up these old habits. It feels good to be doing something different, knowing I'm going to get different results. And I'm so excited and I'm so ready for it. It feels exciting. It feels fresh. It feels new. I feel empowered. I feel energized. I bet you guys can see the change. But you guys can feel the change. Like, I can't feel it. And it feels really, really good. And I want you to feel it too. I don't want to hog all this great energy. Like, I feel really great right now. And I want you to have it too. So go do something uncomfortable. Go put yourself in new situations. Change up something little in your routine and see how you start to act different. See how you start to think different. See how you start to show up different. So I hope this was valuable for you today. If it was, definitely share it with a friend. Share this with your teams. Tag somebody that needs this reminder. And if you're not yet following me, hit follow. I would love to connect with you. I would love to hear what you're working on and what you're doing different this week. Message me. I'd love to hear how I can support you on your journey of getting uncomfortable, doing new things so you can get different results in 2023 and beyond. So my name is Kinsey Ray. I appreciate you guys. I love you and we'll talk soon. See ya.